Hello, good evening, class. Welcome to another session. I want to take this opportunity just to discuss a few things with you about the class as general and to sort of get you prepared for the week 4 assessment midterm exam. So I'm in the leadership and organizational behavior class. I'm going to your week 4, and you will see the objective here for week 4 is to summarize effective group conflict resolution techniques. Under the week 4 section, you will see that you have a key assessment and a unit quiz. Your key assessment here and your unit quiz. What I'll do then is I will go through the template that I provided for this key assessment so you would have an idea of what to expect. I want to switch between screens. So I'm switching to another screen so that you would have a general idea. I can switch back between the question so you can see what I'm speaking about. At the beginning of week 4, I would have posted a template for this assignment. Well, I've posted several things relating to this assignment. Let's start with this video. This is a video that was posted with some additional resources for the assignment you have this week. It's a short video.
Hi, I'm Julia.
And I'm Nick.
And this is our TED Talk on the Abilene Paradox and groupthink.
In 1974, Dr. Jerry Harvey and 3 other family members embarked on an 85-kilometer road trip to Abilene, Texas, in a 1958 Buick without any air conditioning. Not only was the temperature a scorching 40 degrees Celsius, the entire drive was through a dust storm. Only when they returned home did they discover nobody actually wanted to go to Abilene. Each person had agreed because they thought the other really wanted to go. Dr. Harvey said later, "Here, we were 4 reasonable, sensible people who had just taken a 170-kilometer trip across the godforsaken desert in furnace-like temperatures through a dust storm to eat unpalatable food at a hole-in-the-wall cafeteria in Abilene, Texas, when none of us really wanted to go. In fact, we had just done the opposite of what we really wanted to do." Today, the Abilene Paradox is used to describe any communication breakdown in which members of a group don't want to rock the boat. In their desire to minimize conflict, each mistakenly believes that his or her own preferences are counter to the group and therefore does not raise any objections. This story is taken from Harvey's own writings and demonstrates the Abilene Paradox was invented by him after this trip.
So the Abilene Paradox is defined as a situation where a group makes a collective decision that is counter to the thoughts and feelings of its individual members. And Jerry Harvey describes the Abilene Paradox as a concept when organizations frequently take actions in contradiction to what they really want to do, and therefore defeat the very purposes they're actually trying to achieve. This is an example of the Abilene Paradox in an organizational setting where the CEO receives positive responses from all board members, but each of them is actually thinking no in various ways. The paradox may be driven because individuals believe that they will experience negative attitudes or feelings if they speak up on a topic. And it also occurs because human beings have a natural aversion to going against the feelings of the group, and they want to conform socially. So overall, it's to minimize conflict, to not raise objections, and to not rock the boat.
The concept of groupthink is similar to that of the Abilene Paradox. Groupthink is a situation when an organizational group has a certain way of doing things, and they do not want to disrupt this method, nor do they want outsiders to disrupt the method, and they are so rigid on keeping the norm and keeping the status quo that inefficiency can occur. Groupthink is not something that happens in everyday life, but this rigid behavior can lead to poor decision-making.
An organizational example of groupthink is the Bay of Pigs invasion of 1961, a failed U.S. attempt to overthrow Castro's Cuban government. In 1960, Cuban exiles were trained by the CIA to attack Cuba, When the U.S. attacked, they were met by Cuban military. The attack failed. This is an example of groupthink because JFK's top advisors were not willing to see the bad decisions that were made. At one meeting specifically, Kennedy asked for a vote, and many advisors voted yay, simply because they thought others would vote the same. It's important to recognize these two concepts to find a solution. If leaders know about these concepts, then they can be avoided. And leaders must realize it's important to have all team members voice their opinions and be heard, even if it can disrupt balance and flow of a team. Groupthink can lead to poor decision making to the entire organization. It's important for leaders to realize this before it actually occurs.
First, it's crucial to be aware of the possibility that these concepts can occur and be aware of the detrimental consequences to any organization. Most importantly, it is imperative to have a devil's advocate. Whenever a decision is being made, there must be someone to say the opposite, simply to challenge the standing opinion. This allows for other options, even when considered unpopular. Also, it is important to allow for openness to criticism and for different opinions. Outsider experts should be consulted in the decision making. A way to avoid groupthink in an organizational setting is the phenomenal group technique, which is a team process used to generate creative ideas, where team members individually write down ideas and then take turns sharing them with the group. Lastly, it is imperative to have more active leaders, able to encourage others to express their opinions.
Thank you for being attentive to our TED Talk.
Don't move by the rest of the presentation.
So that was the video that was posted this week on groupthink, and your assignment is based on that as well. So you would want to, if you sort of review it again, just to have another perspective, and you can also cite the video when you're taking your assignment. You'll see that here was another announcement that was posted regarding the assignment with some helpful tips for you. So here, let's look at the questions. It asks, what is teamwork and how is it different to group work? That's one part of the question. This question is broken down into several components. So you want to make sure you're addressing each. Then it says, what are 3 positive reasons why a manager would prefer working with teams? And for this, you want to make sure that you're not just listing the 3 possible reasons, but you're going to identify or list them and also provide elaboration on why these are positive reasons. So you're going to say, let's say you say that 3 reasons why managers prefer to work in groups. One reason could be because with a group, they have diverse ideas. Then explain why diverse ideas would be positive. You may want to do some internet research or from your textbook to include a citation to substantiate your ideas of why diverse ideas may be a reason. Then the next part of the question asks, what are 3 negative reasons why managers would prefer working with groups? So again, we are asking that you not simply list them, but you identify or list and elaborate on why these are negative reasons. And so you want to make sure you're not just listing, but you're providing additional ideas to substantiate the points you mentioned. Then the next part, the 4th part of the assignment, is asking about the similarities between the Aberlin paradox and the groupthink. And this is where that video would come in. So you may want to go back again and look at the video. So don't forget to discuss what makes them different. So you're going to say the differences and discuss what makes them different. Many students have walked away from this assignment believing the Aberlin paradox and groupthink are the same, but remember they are different. And you would have seen that in the video that I just played. So don't forget to acknowledge that there are differences. So here I'm telling you there are differences. But in addition to listing the similarities, you want to make sure you understand that there's a difference between the 2 of them. So the similarities do not necessarily mean that they're the same concepts. Then you're going to name at least 3 ways a manager may strengthen team members' commitment. And again, I said you're not just listing the three ways, you're going to elaborate on this. Tell me why. And then you're going to name one local, national, or global organization that you feel represents success through teamwork. And you want to include why you believe they successfully represent teamwork. Make sure that I see some critical thinking in your assignments. I'm asking you that not to just use the textbook as your source of reference, that you show that you've conducted adequate research by doing some outside, citing some outside sources in addition to the textbook. I want to make sure that you also know that you should have at least 3 scholarly resources. So you can have your textbook, but you have to have at least 2 other resources outside the textbook. Please do not use Wikipedia, the encyclopedia, or dictionaries as one of your references. Remember also that when you include a reference list, you must have in-text citations and vice versa. When you have in-text citations, you must also have a reference list. So just make sure you review the parameters carefully. This is the grading rubric. The grading rubric is asking for a minimum of 3 scholarly sources, so you make sure that you meet that, establish that minimum standard. So in addition to providing you with the video and with a breakdown of the assignment, I went ahead and I also posted a template to help you with this assignment. So take a look at this template with me. So I've already set it up for you in APA format. So you can use this. This is a Word document you can use. All you need to do is put your name in here. Where you're seeing your name goes here, you include your name and you don't need to make any other changes. Your running head is completed, the page number is completed, even the title for the assignment is completed. You don't need to do anything else. Just go ahead and start typing. Here you will have your introduction. Your introduction is where you would go ahead and tell us what you will be discussing in the body of your paper. There's some students who will say, I will go back and do my introduction later. Let me just go and do the body and see how, and come back to the introduction. That's totally up to you. Your paragraphs, you see that here, teamwork versus group work. If you go back to the assignment, you will see that that's the first question that you're asked. What is teamwork and how does it differ from group work? So let's go back to the assignment. So in this paragraph, remember the first part of the assignment asks you what is teamwork. So you are going to tell me what teamwork is, include a citation to substantiate that idea. Then you're going to go in that same paragraph, explain how teamwork is different to group work. So here, then you discuss what group work is and explain the differences between group work and teamwork. So in this paragraph, you may have at least 3 citations to substantiate these ideas. The next part of the question is asking for 3 positive reasons why a manager would prefer working with teams. So here you are going to identify the 3 reasons, then you are going to provide an explanation for each of those 3 reasons. You want to make sure you have at least 2 scholarly sources in this paragraph to substantiate those ideas. Your heading again is created for you for the next section of the assignment, which asks, what are 3 negative reasons why a manager would prefer working with teams? So here, negatives for managers of working with teams. So you're going to identify those negatives and provide an explanation for each. You're asked for the similarities of the Aberlin paradox and groupthink. So you're going to list these 3 similarities, but also acknowledge in your writing that there are differences as well. And as you will see here, what I did tell you before, that don't forget that there are differences too. Many students have walked away from this assignment believing that the two are the same, but they are very different. So you want to acknowledge that in your writing. Show me that you understand that. Even if you have to do 2 paragraphs here, that's okay. Because remember, a paragraph is 5 to 6 complete sentences. That is quite fine. Just make sure that you demonstrate your understanding of the concepts when you write. When you list the differences, also make sure that you are explaining why. Provide some rationale. Now, how can managers strengthen group commitment is the next part of the question. And you see how we're doing this. We're making sure that you address each question separately so that you make sure that you cover the entire assignment in detail. So you go here to this paragraph and you explain that. List 3 ways why managers can strengthen group commitment and provide a basis for your rationale. Include citations in this paragraph as well. Success through teamwork. Here, number 6. Name 1 local, national, or global organization that you feel represents success. So here you are going to identify that organization. Tell us why you believe that that organization represents success through teamwork. And again here, provide an example, because the company may have listed some ideas why, some examples why. Provide that example. Remember to include your citations. And here you are going to write your concluding paragraph. In the concluding paragraph, please make sure that you're not introducing new ideas, that you are just summarizing what was discussed in the body of the paper. The conclusion is usually a mirror of the introduction, because the introduction is basically the pathway to what you'll be discussing in your assignment. So the conclusion is just a summary. You can take that and reword it and make it your summary. So you would have had your in-text citations. Now here on a separate page, you would include your references. And every reference that is in the body of your assignment should be on the reference list, properly APA formatted. Remember, a minimum of 3 references, not including the textbook. So if you have any questions about this assignment, please give me a call. I have an open door policy. I would have said that several times. I have an open door policy, and you can feel free to stop in anytime. Send me an email, give me a call, send me a WhatsApp message, and I will be more than happy to assist you. Looking forward to working with you. One tip I would give you though before I end this presentation is that whenever I grade your assignments, I use the grading rubric. Now, if you write your assignment and you actually try to go grade yourself against this grading rubric with what you've written, or you take the template that I would have given you and grade yourself using that template, then you would, of course, there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful in the class. I encourage you to use the template, use the resources provided for you to help you with these assignments, and you can guarantee success. Have a good evening and good luck with the week 4 assignment.